Hey guys, David here. Welcome back to the channel where we are interested in tech and creativity across audio, video and photos. If that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing. Today we're going to be going over a Logic Pro tutorial, the top 20 shortcuts for getting started with Logic Pro. Ready? Then let's go. So we're going to start off with a basic project in Logic Pro. I've dragged an audio and a MIDI Apple loop just so we can demonstrate a couple of different functions. And we're going to start off with basic navigation. So Y opens the library where I've got all of my different MIDI sounds. With all of these initial shortcuts, press them again to make the window go back to its previous state, either to reappear if it was already visible or disappear if it wasn't visible. I opens the inspector. Here I've got my channel strip with effects plugins and I've got my basic region and track information. O opens the Apple loops where I have royalty-free audio and MIDI loops that I can drag into my project. F is my file browser. Here I can see the different audio files that I've got within my project. Next up we can press D to open the events list. I find this useful for accessing the tempo and time signature tabs where I can add tempo change or time signature change into my projects. Last one for this section is P for piano roll. Here we can see information on our MIDI tracks and make edits as well. Okay. Now we're going to look at some shortcuts for navigating within the Arrange window. Let's start off by saying we want to have a closer look at this audio file. I'm going to select part of it and I'm going to press Z for zoom. Press again to zoom back to where you were, and you can toggle between super close up and your original view. Now I want to listen to only one audio track, so I can press S to solo the track that I have selected. Press it again to turn that mode off, and the same thing with muting. M to mute, M again to unmute. If I want to navigate backwards and forwards within my track, I can use the full stop and comma keys. So full stop will move me one bar to the right with each press, comma, one bar to the left. If I hold down the shift key, those same right and left movements work with 8-bar increments. So shift and full stop, 8 bars to the right, shift and comma, 8 bars to the left. Very good hack for quickly navigating within sections. Now something that I use all the time, let's say I want to split one of the audio regions in this example. Perhaps I'm going to go to bar 2. So I'm going to press full stop to move to bar 2. I have an audio region selected, so our next shortcut is Command plus T, which is split by playhead. So T for split. And we can see that that region has now been split by where the playhead was at the time I used that shortcut. Let's say I now want to loop that new partial region I've created to mess around with it. I can press Command and U, and that will turn on cycle mode for just the region that I had selected. Let's say I now want to turn off cycle mode. I can press C, and I can turn it back on by pressing C again. One of the most handy shortcuts is the Tools menu, which you access by pressing T. Once you have this up, all of the tools within there have their own further shortcut. So T and T will always get you back to the main pointer tool, which I'll do right now. Let's say I want to create another fade on my audio file. I can press T-A to access the fade tool, and then I can use my trackpad or mouse to drag in a fade. Let's say I want to do some extra MIDI notes in my MIDI region. I can press P to open the piano roll. Now I want to have my pencil tool to add in some notes, so I can press T, P to access the pencil tool and add in some notes. T and T again to go back to the pointer. Select those notes that I added in for demonstration purposes, and then I can delete them. And P again to get rid of the piano roll. Now let's say I want to check what plugins I've got open. I can press I to bring up the inspector. I'm going to open the compressor and the overdrive, and now I've got a bunch of plugins because I've opened the compressor for my other track as well, which takes us to our next shortcut. V will show or hide all of the open plugins that you have. This can be really good for checking settings across different plugins that you've got working simultaneously, and then clearing space back to your arrangement. Another shortcut I use all the time is the automation view. We press A, and now we can program automation for our tracks. Once we've done that, we can go back to the clean arrange view by pressing A once again. And something that I use a lot if I'm working portably is Command plus K. This opens the musical typing, as it's called in Logic, which is where you can use your computer keyboard to act like a MIDI keyboard and input basic sounds using the keys on your machine. Future number one right there. Press Command K again to dismiss the musical typing keyboard. And now for our last few shortcuts. These work in Logic, but these also work in most Mac applications. So if I want to select everything in one of my windows, I press Command A for select all. If I want to take a section and cut it, I can press Command X. I can navigate to somewhere else, and let's say I want to paste it, I can press Command and V. If I want to copy a region, then Command C will copy, and again I can paste by pressing Command and V. Last but by no means least is Command and comma, and from here you can navigate all your different settings and preferences. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please like and consider subscribing. And if you would like to find more Logic Pro content on this channel, then drop me a line in the comments and let me know. Until next time, take it easy.